Okay, here we go. Film room preview. David Benavidez, David Morrell. We're going to look at in this video David Benavidez's most recent performance as well as David Morrell's most recent performance. We're going to start with Morrell because he is the B-side in this fight and he is the slight underdog. This was a bout that took place in August of 2024 against Radivoje Kalajic. It's worth noting that David Morrell in this fight has a slight reach advantage. He'll have more of a reach advantage against David Benavidez, which is interesting. David Benavidez is slightly taller, 6'2". David Morrell, 6'1 plus, we'll say, but his reach is 78 inches. Benavidez is around 74. And Kalajic here is closer to 76 and is 6'3". So with David Morrell, you can see here, like he's able to box from the outside, what he's going to try to implement against David Benavidez, because you don't want to stay, in the middle of the ring with David Benavidez if you could avoid it. Like, he has Cuban style with power, not a boring fighter. But the big doubt with David Morrell is, has he fought top tier competition? The answer is no. And can he beat top tier competition? The answer is we don't know. Morrell doing a good job of seeing that jab, sort of parrying it. Kalajic is just really throwing it out there, but not really with vicious intent, just more so to find his range, set up something else. Morrell's staying engaged, parrying it over and over before looking to throw his return shot, which is often a right into a straight left, a right hook into a straight left. This little jab battle, I feel like he's going to try to get into this a lot with David Benavidez. So here we have David Morrell, just sort of pops that jab to the body, doesn't really get all of it. Kalajic reaches, he jabs him there, and then Morrell hits him with an even stiffer jab, wins that jab battle. One, throw, bait you in, and hits you with another one. This jab just hurts more, and then repositions himself out of range, is about to get back in range, slow motion here, takes a jab from Kalajic, changes his level, smothers inside, doesn't really see anything there. David Benavidez will throw that uppercut, so I'm curious to see, let's actually go back, if he does even do this against Benavidez. Like, is he going to even feel comfortable making this an inside fight in spurts? Not sure about that, but he takes his jab, and then here, this is where David Benavidez is going to throw that uppercut. He loves that right uppercut. And he gets it here, but is able to get out of the way of it. David Benavidez is obviously faster and stronger than Kalajic, so we'll see what David Benavidez does there. But David Morrell, something to look out for. So this is something else we're going to see in the fight with David Benavidez. David Morrell here commits to this jab. Kalajic slips it. There's the right uppercut. Blocks it there. Good timing, everything. That's great defense. Sees it coming, boom. He's going to have to do that against David Benavidez tenfold. Dummy jab, doesn't commit. Boom. Just causes a distraction enough to get the attention of that left hand. Boom. Beautiful right hook. Biggest shot of the fight so far. Backs him up. Doesn't take full advantage of it, but that was beautiful. His accuracy, his precision is top tier and has been top tier. We'll see if it is against Benavidez, but Benavidez isn't exactly a beacon for defensive boxing, so he may land some shots. Here's the thing, though. As we saw there as I was talking, David Morrell has him in the corner here. Little jab. 1-1-2. Bang! Eats that right hand in the corner. Once that 2 came, boom. The left hand was down. Open target. David Benavidez will seize on that if pressured. Boom, there's that right hand again. Clean right hand. See, David Morrell just kind of takes these. He gets popped with a right uppercut there. See that again. Just kind of standing there. High guard, boom. Uppercut gets through. David Benavidez is going to do that a bunch if he just stands there. Can't afford to. Here we go. There's some pressure to end that round. Boom, there's that right uppercut again, right to the top of the head. Yeah, he's got to watch that. This is something I would flag, like, some of these shots do get through the high guard. So there's Morrell shelling up again. Collages just kind of goes to work, slow motion. A couple of these are getting through. Dave Benavidez, like he'll get through the high guard with that uppercut. There's a good right hook from David Morrell, but not a lot of spectacular stuff here. Not a glamorous thing, but there's a shot he's going to try to get to a lot. Just head off the center, boom, straight left, gets out of the way of that right hand. That's what you want to see if you're David Morrell, if you're David Morrell's team. Overall, it was a good performance. It wasn't a super glamorous one or a spectacular one, but David Morrell ends up getting it done. Dominant fashion, wins all but 2 or 3 rounds. So now we're going to head to the David Benavidez portion of this, where he takes on Alexander Gvozdyk. Alexander Gvozdyk, famously perhaps, had been ahead against Artur Beterbiev years before this, before eventually getting stopped. That was his only loss to that point. On the judges' scorecards, 2 of them had him ahead. One 87-84, one 86-85, and another had him down 87-83. And then Beterbiev dropped him 3 times in the 10th round, got the TKO. This is a straight pressure right away. This is a different type of fight than he's going to see with David Morrell. And a lot of people came away from this fight unimpressed with David Benavidez's power. You see him kind of going for it early, and it felt like he was going to get the stoppage. A lot of people seem to think, and I thought he might have been able to get the stoppage late. Didn't quite do that, and let's see why. But here, he's inside, he's comfortable. Guys are exchanging. He's trying to pressure. Gvozdyk is trying to box a little bit more. There's a shot to the body, another one to the body there. Benavidez is landing some good shots here, though. Then over here, Gvozdyk just kind of pawing at him. Benavidez has the high guard up, wants to get ready for anything that comes his way. Goes with the overhand right, uppercut there. I think Benavidez is actually going to throw a good amount of uppercuts against David Morrell, but David Morrell will throw some too. Like, this is going to be a fight where the punch variety is going to be very fascinating to watch. Here they just get tied up a little bit, or almost tied up. And David Benavidez left hook on the separation and repositions. I tend to think David Benavidez similarly will be chasing around David Morrell a little bit, because David Morrell is not going to be running from him, but he's going to try to box. David Morrell has a pretty decent reach advantage here, where he has a 78-inch reach. David Benavidez is closer to about 74. So David Morrell should be on the outside when these two guys fight. Gvozdyk is trying to do that here. Gvozdyk has a slight reach advantage, actually, 75.5 inches. Here's the uppercut. Boom. Completely misses. But he's going to try to get to this a lot against David Morrell. I think he's just trying to really get some leverage, get some legs into that one. Gvozdyk just calmly shoves him away after the right uppercut doesn't land. I expect to see a good amount of right uppercuts against David Morrell, though. Here we go. Trying to get him on the inside, in pursuit. And this is what he has to watch against David Morrell, too. Gvozdyk does it differently, but while in pursuit, while being aggressive, and doesn't get anything, super forceful here, he eats this left hand. Boom. Little left hook over the top. Retaliates there, but, David Morrell's going to look to pick his shots in between. There's a nice right hook by David Benavidez, though. And obviously David Morrell, there we go. There we go. Here's that speed. Looks cool, but didn't really do anything. I think with David Morrell, he's going to try to throw a lot of straight punches, just jabs and straights in between these power punches. David Benavidez is going to feel like he has to throw. See those looping shots? That was a good left hook right there that he lands. The 1-2 from Gvozdyk kind of gets through. Shoe shines again. I feel like this one, he actually landed a couple of punches. And then over here, boom. Little 3-2 there. Left hook, right hand, kind of gets through the guard. That high guard, David Morrell is going to try to punch through that with straights, occasional uppercuts, but a lot of straight left hands. So we're going to see David Benavidez going from side to side, just kind of slipping, getting to his own uppercut, getting to his hooks to the body. I think he's going to have a heavy emphasis in this fight on body shots, as he should, because David Morrell is the longer fighter, is going to want to be a counter puncher. So in order to slow him down, it just makes sense. This is good from David Benavidez. He takes a straight right hand, boom. And this is great from Vosdick, by the way. Boom, rolls under that left hook perfectly. But then he eats a few shots here. That one, it didn't kill him or whatever, but he loses that combination. David Benavidez lands more punches. David Benavidez has the speed, and David Morrell is going to have to try to pick his shots in between, as we were just saying. Be careful with that one. Big left hook, miss. David Morrell has the length to sort of just get back into your space and throw a left hand right there. And then this is the part where I remember just being on social media and people saying, hey, David Benavidez, he looks like he's tiring out. He looks sluggish or whatever. And I do kind of remember that, because the end is where people thought he was going to use his famous stamina to sort of take this over and end the fight, but it didn't happen. And Vosdick makes a mistake of letting him measure. Benavidez measures his shot, boom, right hook. Left hook to the body too. Left hook to the body doesn't look like it gets everything, but Vosdick, you probably felt those too. Benavidez did a good job in this fight of winning the exchanges for the most part. Lands a nice jab there. Left hand, right. I'm not going to say David Benavidez's power doesn't translate at 175. We've only seen him there once, but Alexander Vosdick is a guy who, the only time he's been stopped was by Artur Beterbiev, who stops everybody outside of Dmitry Bivol, who's elite. So I'm going to say that David Benavidez, he's still good at 175, but ultimately, is he going to beat David Morrell is the question. I don't know. I really don't know. We'll wrap on that at the end of this. And if you wanted to say, like, hey, these are both underwhelming performances by David Benavidez and David Morrell, I could see that. If you wanted to say these were disappointing, just flat out, I could see that too. I still think the fight's going to be great. There's an exchange there. Oof. David Benavidez clearly gets the better of this. Boom, right hand. Let's look at this one more time. Right hand, pull. Vosdick looked like he didn't expect that. He didn't expect the pull. Boom, pull, bang, left hook. Boom, another left hook there. That's good shit from David Benavidez right there. Right hook to the body while in pursuit. He's going to be heavily in pursuit against David Morrell. Eats a couple of shots here, though, for his troubles. Got to watch this. He's a guy you can counter. That's the thing. In between those shots. Boom. Focus on the offense. Focus on the offense. Boom. There's an uppercut. Boom. There's a straight right. And Vosdick is out of there. That's good stuff. That's how you hit in between those big shots. Overall, good enough performance to win, but not one of the strongest he's had recently. Overall, David Morrell, David Benavidez did enough to win. Wasn't spectacular on either side. I would say that for this fight, this is my prediction. For this fight, I actually think David Morrell is going to win this. For some reason, I haven't been able to shake this feeling. I just think he also has a route to win that people are discounting. I think people believe David Benavidez is just going to walk right through him and just destroy him. Well, I don't think that's going to be the case, or just be able to stop him late. Maybe that's so. David Morrell's resume or lack thereof is being held against him, and justifiably so. But I think with David Morrell, he has more ways to sort of win from a counterpunching perspective. And I think he'll be able to do that. And if he could sustain David Benavidez's power as Alexander Vosdick did, then yes, I think David Morrell can pick his shots from the outside, can throw straights in between those hooks and uppercuts that David Benavidez likes to throw. I think the southpaw look is going to be an interesting one as well. And David Morrell has the range, has the boxing ability, has the counterpunching ability to win this fight. And I think he's going to do that. And I think he'll probably do it by decision. That's all we have for this video. Thank you for watching the film study. We'll have a short recap sometime after the fight is over, either Saturday night or Sunday. It most likely will be Sunday. I got to be honest with you. And we will have a post-fight live show on the other channel, Mandatory with Bryan and Chantel. We're going to do a post-fight live show. We're aiming to do it after this upcoming fight. Our preview for the fight is also on that channel, so go check that out as well. And we'll be back with more on this channel very, very soon. Take it easy.